This is not play of colour. And this is not play of colour. And this is not play of colour. But this is play of colour. G'day, I'm Justin from Black Opal Direct. Today we're talking about what is play of colour. So most gemstones in this world, they have a body colour. Most gemstones have a trace element, which is, I think it's called a chromophore, which gives that gemstone its actual colour. When a gemstone is faceted, the light from those facets refract around the gem to show that colour. But that's not play of colour. There's only a very few gems in the world that we could actually say they have play of colour. And opal is one of those gems. So it's a very rare phenomenon. So the technical term for play of colour is the phenomenon of spectral colours created due to the orderly array of silica spheres in opal structure. So this is how I explain it in simple terms. It is a bunch of silica spheres stacked very neatly together. And these silica spheres reflect light, and depending on the size of those spheres, whether they're small or big, depends on what colour that comes out of that opal from those silica spheres. Now, the spheres have to be stacked neatly in order to make colour, or colour play, or play of colour. If they are not stacked neatly and there are different size spheres all over the opal, then what happens is it becomes common opal, which is a potch, or an opal with no play of colour. And there is a big difference. So the phenomenon of silica spheres being stacked really neatly to make colour is very rare. Now here's some opals as well, and I'm just showing them to you to explain that not all opals have play of colour. And when opal has a colour base to it, so it's like let's say a Mexican, they call Mexican fire opal, is just a red or orange tinted faceted stone. That has no play of colour unless you get the gem quality Mexican opal, which has actual play of colour like Australian opal. These pieces here are blue and pink, but there's no play of colour. They're a tint. It's what's in the stone that makes that colour. So there's no silica spheres reflecting light, bouncing off different colours in this type of opal. So it's more of a common opal. Only when you get play of colour in an opal is it considered precious. Sometimes in crystal opal, if you have a crystal opal that is double-sided, you can get something what is very reflective, and some people mistake it for colour, but what it is actually light travelling through the polished top of the opal down to the back side of the opal and reflecting the light source back at you. So as you're moving it around, that light source is also moving around on the stone as well. Now that is not play of colour, that is reflection. Now the difference between colour play in opal and colour play in other types of gemstones is that opal can have 3D colour play. So it can have patterning on top of more patterning. So you get a real deep effect to opal, like a 3D in-depth effect. So you can look right into the stone. Where some other gemstones, they have a play of colour, but it's a very matte 2D play of colour. So there is a big difference in phenomenon between the two types. Now this piece is an example of Australian amber opal. So it's got a little bit of a yellowy tinge to it, and it's considered amber nobbies or amber seam opal. It's clear, it has no play of colour whatsoever, this type, and if you facet it, you will get the refraction, and it will bounce around the stone like a faceted opal, but it's still not considered play of color. So thanks for watching. I hope it's made a little bit clearer. I'm trying not to be too technical, because when you start talking big scientific words, a lot of people get lost in the words. If you like the information I'm giving, I'm working hard to get a lot more information out there, so it would help so much if you would subscribe and like my videos. It inspires me to get more information to you, so you can learn a lot more. If you don't like advertising on YouTube, we do have a subscriber list on my website that you can join. You get the videos earlier, and they're on a different platform with no advertising whatsoever. So go and have a look at that if you feel the need. There is no pressure, but I do appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching this time, and I'll see you next time.